Like, how are you feeling about his development, and what do you think it's going to kind of take to have like complete and full confidence in him going forward?
Well, I think JK's doing well. He's been very responsive to coaching. He's had a good approach. He's had some good games for us. I think more than anything, it's we have a deep team. We got, as I said, I think we have 12 guys who are all deserving of being in the rotation. And so every night's going to be a little bit different, and we're going to go with whoever gives us the best chance to win, and that's going to be different guys, and unless there's separation from within the group. And so far it's just I haven't seen that separation. A lot of guys are playing well, but nobody's separating themselves from the pack.
I know you talked about kind of wanting to have these practice days. What was the focus today at practice, and how nice was it to have a practice day before going on the road?
Yeah, we had a good film session, and then the veteran guys did not get on the court. We just felt like we needed to give them some rest. So the younger guys have gotten a lot of work in this morning, and so it's good to have a day like this for both mind and body.
And kind of speaking of JK, obviously it's so nice having Chris Paul kind of slow things down, settle it. But how much is that athleticism or explosion, that factor that JK can bring to the court, how much is that needed for an older team like you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you can see with our team, we've got a lot of skill, but we're not the biggest, most athletic team. So that's where JK can really help. That's where Gary helps. That's where Wiggs helps, and we need all those guys to be effective defenders, on-ball defenders, and just to give us that speed and pop in different areas of the game.
Any update on Gary? I know you said he might be questionable for.
Yeah, he's scrimmaging right now, and we still call him questionable because it'll depend on how he feels afterwards.
Steph set another franchise record last night. Most minutes played now in franchise history. It's maybe a broken record at this point, but is it just the most impressive thing that he's still doing it at this level 15 years in?
Yeah, it is. Is he 35? Is that right? He'll be 36 in March. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone has, at his position, at his size, has played as effectively as Steph has at this age. I'm sure there are some names. I watched Steve Nash play really at a high level for into his late 30s, but it feels like what Steph is doing is just at a different level. He feels better than he ever has looked before. So remarkable what he does, and it's a testament to how much he works at his craft, on his body, on his conditioning. All summer long, he never stops. He's always searching for ways to get better too. It's incredible to watch him work.
Steve, what have you thought just in general about what TJD has been able to provide, and is he, does he not feel like a rookie to you? I mean, he's turning 24 in a couple months.
Yeah, he doesn't feel like a rookie. He's got 125 college games under his belt, and so a lot of the things that you expect to have to teach a rookie, you don't have to teach him. He already understands angles on screens, flipping screens. Great timing, diving to the rim for lobs. Great timing as a shot blocker. Understands angles in pick and roll coverage as a big. I mean, these are all things that are really hard to master, but he just feels them instinctively. And he's another guy I'd love to play more because he's a very good player. I just haven't been able to find minutes for him yet.
And it's been reported that part of the reason why he went back to Indiana last year is because, NIL and stuff. What do you think about just the fact that NIL exists and guys can make money if they choose not to enter the draft,
I think it's great. More power to them. I hope it keeps more players in the college game before they come to the NBA. I'm not sure it'll quite work that way, but I do think players are better when we get them if they've had more experience at the collegiate level. So selfishly, I'd like to see more guys do that.
Third year is going so far? It's still early, but how are you feeling overall?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm excited every single day. I'm blessed to be here, my third year. It's actually going well than people think.
How so? Like, why do you think it's going better than people might think?
Just being around, I feel like I've been more comfortable. I feel like I've been here for too long now that I know every play. I know everybody, and that just makes me feel comfortable and make me want to be here even more.
Jonathan, you're someone who is comfortable playing any position, but when it comes to like the 3 or the 4, do you have a preference? Is there more of a comfortability between those 2 forward spots?
I don't have any problem playing the 3 or the 4. As long as they throw me out there and I go out there and help the team to win, I mean, that's all that matters. I mean, with a person like me, I had a chance to have this type of ability to play the 3 and the 4, so it's a blessing, and I don't take it for granted. I go out there and use it, so I'm comfortable with whatever.
Do you feel like you've had the opportunity to take on a larger role here in these last 3 games with Draymond out?
I mean, so far, I think things have been going well. I'm not even worried about Draymond coming back because me and Draymond played at the same time and we play well. So it's never about me and Draymond timing or when he comes back, my minutes going down or I'm playing bad. No, I feel like I'm excited. I can't wait for him to get back because I even play even way better with Draymond.
What have been your thoughts on what TJD has provided? And, he's a rookie, but he's several years older than you. What's that dynamic like when you have a guy who's actually in his first year in the league, but is actually, 3 years older than you?
Is he?
He's going to be 24 in February.
But he's not yet.
Okay, he's 2 years older.
No, I mean, I'm a guy who I get along with everybody. I know how to talk to people, so with me and Trayce, I always talk to him. I don't even look at him as a rookie. I just look at him as my teammate. And as creating that relation, that even going to help us play better when we both on the floor at the same time. Because he's going to have a better understanding of me and I'm going to have a better understanding of him. So, I mean, he's a very smart player. He plays his role perfect. I'm just excited and looking forward to what the future brings. And
I believe you signed with Ignite right when NIL was becoming a thing in college basketball. If NIL was what it was today when you were entering Ignite, do you think you would have been more apt to go the college route? Because we're hearing about guys signing $1 million NIL deals and stuff.
With me, I'm going to keep it real. With me, it wasn't about the money. I mean, the money obviously there. Helps my family, everybody in a good situation. But obviously, it was just me going to where it's going to prepare me to be a professional as fast as I can. I don't know nothing about college. From what I heard, it was just different than what the G League was because we actually get to play in front of scouts. We play against mature people like G League players that some of them been in the league before. Some of them had got a chance to go out there and play, but they just haven't got that chance to play. So it was just a different perspective because I was looking at getting better, faster every day. And I'm not saying if you go to college, you're not going to get better, but I always wanted to be a professional earlier.
You've talked about how the locker room has stayed light and everything, and when you guys were losing a handful of games, does it bring more confidence knowing Steph wasn't there for a few, Draymond wasn't there for a few, GP2 wasn't there for a few, so you guys haven't been whole yet, and knowing that you will be whole and get rolling soon, does that bring more confidence to the locker room too?
Can you repeat that question, please?
Like, does it bring more confidence to the locker room knowing that you guys lost a few of those games, but it wasn't your full team? You didn't have Draymond, you didn't have Steph, didn't have GP, so does it bring more confidence knowing that you'll get those guys back really soon now?
I mean, that wasn't an excuse at all. I mean, it's not because we're missing anybody that we have to lose. I mean, things didn't go our way. regardless of Steph playing or not playing, we all is a team. We all professional. We gotta do what we gotta do, and we didn't. I don't say we didn't do it the right way, but it just wasn't out. It didn't go well our way, but obviously missing a couple people that don't affect us from going out there and trying to win. But I'm glad some of the people coming back. Hopefully Draymond's come back soon and we start rolling again.
Thought about what TJD has been providing, you know, in his rookie year.
Yeah, he's been really good. You can tell that he's not your average rookie just because he's older, more developed. He knows where to be. Played a similar style in college. We've talked about like defensively. So he just has a really good feel for the game.
How has practices maybe differed, if at all, from years past for you?
Different teams, a lot of times you need different things. Like this team looks a lot different than it did last year, as much as the team before. And then just practices as of late have been really good for us. I've really understood the importance of practice a lot, very definitely this year, because in times past you kind of dread practice, like, oh, you don't want to do this, you don't want to go through that. But we had a long stretch to where we couldn't practice because the schedule was so rigorous. So then we kind of fell out of rhythm with a couple of things. Then actually getting into practice, we got to nail down our principles. And then you can just tell in the games after being able to practice how much that really affected the team and how valuable that really was.
Has there been kind of more of an emphasis on understanding fundamentals, foundation of concepts, things like that for you guys this year?
Our coaches are always pretty precise on it, so they nail down on it, especially early on every year. We've usually had older team, veteran team, so you don't necessarily have to as much as you probably do with the young guys, me being that, especially before, to where we're really learning it more than everybody else. But this year they did definitely slow down and walked everybody through everything, and not just concepts, because you can think of it that way and say, the older guys know what to do, so you don't have to. Well, it's so many different ways to guard a stack action, so you got to understand how we're doing it on this team, and so everybody kind of has to develop and everybody has to learn. So being able to walk through that slowly was good for us.
Moses, you've been able to play with Steph, Klay, Draymond, Iggy your first couple of years in the league. What's it been like adding Chris Paul to the mix?
Wow, yeah, that's a pretty good lineup right there. Just to be 3 years in and playing with that many Hall of Famer, All-Stars, it's not many people get to do that. And me personally, I like to be a sponge. Everybody kind of says that, but I really do enjoy that in basketball and not in basketball, just being able to, pick up game, to learn, to however you want to call it. I enjoy that. So being able to be around it, listening to those conversations, even when they're not talking to me, seeing how poised CP is with the ball. That's one thing I like, because sometimes you can feel like when you got the ball in your hand, you're supposed to be making a decision or you're supposed to be doing something with it. But if you watch CP, sometimes he just has this cadence that he just moves with, and it's aggressive but not aggressive. He's making something happen, but he's still calm, and it's just a poise and just small things like that you can pick up on just from being around people.
You obviously came in with JK. What have you thought about just? You've gone through your own ups and downs with the rotation and stuff, but what have you thought about how he's handled, those growing pains and, having fluctuating minutes and things like that?
Yeah, it's a journey just like anything else. He's grown a lot since he first got here, as well as there's still room to grow for everybody. He's dealt with it good. I like to see the growth that I've had as well as him alongside each other. Just being able to have to talk. Even like last year, like when the rookies came in and everything, we were just rookies, so it's not like you don't really know much more than them at that point. Well, I guess you do, but still. But even with these guys coming in and we kind of communicated and talking, and then like me and JK joking about stuff from our rookie year, like we 5 years in or something. But even still, just being able to see where you started and where you are now kind of validates some of the work that you've put in.
I know Steph just became the all-time minutes leader in franchise history. How inspiring is it to see someone who's 35 years old who's playing at an MVP level still?
Yeah, Steph is inspiring in himself. Just y'all get to see the highlights with the threes and the step backs and the layups and all of that. But just day in and day out, the person that he's able to be, even like one of his most impressive things for me was this preseason, watching him work out. And then we had a team practice, and he's playing quarters at a time where everybody else is kind of like subbing in and out, getting breaks, and he's just being special in practice. That's something that I haven't been around other guys on other teams, but he's somebody that's just, how they say you never meet your idols or something like that. He's the opposite of that. He's a role model and kind of shows that it's possible and what it takes to be on top. Because it kind of goes with a lot of different things. Just like you work to become the king of the hill, and when you're on the king of the hill, a lot of people rest, and that's when somebody else takes over the throne. Well, he's somebody that's on top, that's the king of the hill, and works like he probably he better harder than he did when he first got there, and that's why he is standing where he is. So he just kind of shows what it takes to be on top and stay there.
Moses, Steve, you've kind of had your ups and downs in terms of playing time, and Steve just yesterday said, I wish I could play him more. He deserves to play more, but because of the depth and kind of what we talked about, the guys that you play with, it's kind of tough to see the court and find that time. Is that a tough situation to be in, or is it all upside for you, kind of being surrounded?
Everything's perspective. There's a lot of guys on this team that could be playing more. It's got a lot of guys that you just in this situation. There's positive in every situation. So me being able to value the 17 to 20 minutes I get, just being able to appreciate those and maximize those is something that I can learn from, and that's like a challenge that I can learn right now. Rather than if I could sit up here and be mad about my 15 minutes and then I get 30 minutes next year. Well, since I was in here pouting all year, now I'm not ready for those 30 minutes, and I don't know how to maximize 30 minutes. If you can't maximize 15 minutes, then this is going to be the same when you get 30. So just taking every obstacle and learn and seeing the lesson that's in front of you. Something I seen a while back that I really like was a fool looks for happiness in the distance, while a wise man grows it under his feet. So instead of just saying it's gonna be better in the future, it's bad right now, but it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better. You can always say that for the rest of your life, but a wise man is going to sit here, look at the situation that he's in, and make the best out of that. So that's something I try to live on.
Play-Doh.
Drop the mic right there, Mo.